All right, guys, let's get right down to it. Talk about making some money. Now, the stock idea is Under Armour. The symbol is UA. It was the very first stock I mentioned on this show, along with Chesapeake. Chesapeake's been a disaster. This has been a grand slam. Downgraded today. It's not a fly-by-night over, listen, it's not one of these things that's going to pop overnight. Now, I will tell you, I am a little worried that I think they're paying Andy Murray $23 million. Okay, I don't understand that move, okay, but I like some of the other things they've done, and particularly like with the Misty Copelands of the world. Let Wall Street downgrade these stocks. They mostly downgrade them based on what they talk about valuation. It's a short-term thing, has nothing to do with the future. I did not think the stock would pull back this much, so any further weakness in my mind makes this a screaming buy. Matt, what do you think of the company?
Technically, I don't like it because it did break down a bit today, below at 66, so I think it could find some support around 60, so I'm not jumping in right here. I have not been a fan of it. I've been wrong because it's been a lot higher since you originally recommended it.
Well, why don't you like it?
I just think there's too much competition. I think Nike's out there, and I think they're still the behemoth, and they're trying to go at it the wrong way. You're paying Andy Murray $25 million. That is not going to increase your sales that much because Andy Murray's now wearing Under Armour. I just don't think the mindset, they're throwing too much out there.
They are focusing on women, and they are focusing on that growth. They're not just looking at
fashion trends are
Andy Murray's nothing to do with, well, I love Andy Murray, let's be honest here, but I think in terms of where their product line is growing, it's, Charles mentioned it, Misty Copeland, yoga wear, athletic shoes, and international growth.
But the idea sounds fantastic, Hitha, but it's so tough to break into that industry and take over the competitors.
And the valuation is rich at 54 times this year's earnings. I mean, so it really makes sense to be careful. And fashion trends are fickle. And Matt's point is so well taken.
I'm not so sure that this is not more of a technology trend than a fashion trend. I mean, there's a lot of imitators, but it still feels like people who are athletic think that the Under Armour garments are better, than the knockoffs that you might find in other places.
And I agree with that. And that has been the appeal, is that the core athlete loves Under Armour, but then in expanding, maybe the general population has to be able to understand the appeal, and that has to be sold to them.
And I think they're really targeting the younger generation, not just it's women and millennials that they're going after. My stepson runs Division I track, and he came home at Christmas thrilled that Under Armour is now going to be the only thing that they're going to be wearing. He's really excited about it. So, I mean, I just see it. My kids that are 9 and 12, they each, have probably 10 or 20 Under Armour sweatshirts. I just think they're going after the younger generation and women. I like their strategy. I like the company. Great career site, too.
Kevin Plank, I think, has done an amazing job. He's a great Horatio Alger kind of story. I did have a little bit of problems because initially, like years ago, they pledged that they would never use professional athletes, and of course now they're signing some questionable people. But nevertheless, I think that this level, this is going to continue to be a winner.
I mean, I guess women and young people and Jimmy Frischling, because I buy our Under Armour.
What are you benching now, baby? You're looking fit, man.
I like what they do. To Hilary's point, I think a lot of the good news is priced in. I think they're executing incredibly well, despite the fact that, yes, they broke that promise, or rather broke that commitment, and they did go pro athletes. But I do like what they're doing, just a little expensive for me.
All right, guys.